And welcome to another segment of Alex Talks with me, Alex, obviously. And today I'm doing a special feature here because normally Alex Talks is just for me, moi, just numero uno. But you're joined today by my boy Cam. What's really good, bro? What's
Good.
happening?
It's good.
Yeah, bro. Bro, you
Well,
wouldn't believe what just happened to me, yeah? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that with the introduction and everything. What, bro? Look, I'm at boiling point right now. I'm here. I get to hear, but I'm here. Yeah, like neuro friend fucking level, right? Two kids before we start the podcast. Two kids knock on my door. I'm like, "What do you want? Big black neighbor. What do you want?" And like, we've kicked your ball into your garden again. Again, when did you do it the first time? Anyway, he's like, it's behind the shed. So I thought, my bedroom is facing the garden. So I thought, okay, cool. Let me go back upstairs. Let me check. Open the window. Still the best open the window because my bed is by the window. I opened it, couldn't see nothing. It says behind the shed. Behind the shed is like literally 2 foot by 1 foot. Like, I'm not getting in there.
you're a
I'm
wide
like,
guy, bro. You're a wide guy. You don't
and
get
then
in.
again, I'm not here to start doing, going through small cavities and then I get nabbed out. There's no one else here. If I get stuck, I'm finished. Yeah, I'll be there all evening. No one's getting in. So I'm not doing that. I'm not climbing on the top of my shed like this is Mission Impossible. Yeah, I'm not the white Ethan Hunt. I'm not doing it. I'm just not gonna be like trying to acrobat myself down a small cavity. So the boys said they can do it because it's small enough. So I let them climb over, get the ball. Cool. Gets the ball out now. Then throws the ball over back over again in the same place. I was like, you're joking me.
What, straight away?
Straight away, within 2 seconds. And do you know what was going through my head? Am I being set up?
Brother, as you tell me this, I kind of thought they might be robbing you.
I think it's because I'm thinking they're keeping me busy in the back garden
Exactly. They're keeping you out.
while someone breaks in
Have you checked
or
the house?
stealing my car. Bro, I went outside, I checked. When they went, I left them to it. So as soon as I left and I closed the door to the garden, the ball came flying out. I was like, they're planning it. Look at these. Closed it. I locked it straight away. I ran to the front, opened the door. My car's still in the driveway. And I was like, okay, so they ain't stealing my car. And I checked all the rooms on the way up, and there's like, no one else here. So it's just me. Just me. All right, just me. All right, so, whew, that seems to unpack a lot. So today on Alex Talks, what we want to discuss is the big news. Well, it's not big news now because we're picking up just a couple of days later, which is fine. It's still fresh, really fresh in the bones and the tears of Tottenham fans after the sacking of Ange Postecoglou. All right,
Mm.
so we mentioned that big talk about new incoming signings. There's news on Man City. There's news of Benny Blanco coming to Arsenal. If you don't know who Benny Blanco is, that is Benjamin Sesko. It looks like
Like,
Arsenal making a move for him over Gyökeres. Will they? How do the fans feel? I don't know. We've got Arsenal fans here, but
you
we'll
know,
discuss it.
I just saw
But hold
something
on, let
yesterday.
me let me let me tell the people what else we're doing,
Go on, go
and
on.
also today's transfer rumors. See how they let's just see how solid they are. What we think about them. We will be using news sources for like BBC Sport and all of that. So some of them are just rumors, some aren't confirmed yet, but let's just let you know about the news which is circulating around the world of football, and especially in the Premier League. What are you gonna say now?
I
You,
was
you may
just going to
speak.
say, I saw a little little thing from a Chelsea perspective that Gyökeres has just started following Chelsea on Instagram. Just saying,
I think
there's nothing to read into it
we'll,
apart
we'll
from
we'll talk about that. Let's
yeah.
talk about that. But first of all, let's start off with the news of Spurs sacking and Postecoglou. He didn't get season three.
No,
He didn't get it. He came with some straight facts. I always win something in my second title, in my
yeah.
second season. He said it, and he did it. Then he went and said, "It's some TV series. Season three is season two." He didn't make season three. They cut him. When it's like we didn't get like a season three of The Punisher.
I was
It's
just
almost
about
like
to
that.
say,
It's
I was
just
just
like
about to say something similar. Yeah.
like how many TV series did we see that didn't get like a second or third season? We were like,
Well,
oh, they cancelled it.
it might be that we have to wait for a couple of years and he comes back and does his third.
He
You know
comes
what
over
I
a
mean?
book. Like he comes over a book. It'll be interesting. But how do you feel? Do you feel it's fair? Do you think that was a fair second? Was it? Are we surprised?
We talked a bit about this the other day. I think, well, we were off camera, but I think we all expected it, right? There was a point in the season where he put all of his eggs, and obviously the team were instructed, put all their eggs in the Europa League basket.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
literally, I mean, it was probably December, January time when they realised things are not looking good in the league, and they're focusing solely on Europa League. And I just think with it being his second year, Levy would have set certain expectation demands really on what is expected, what is you know, intolerable in the sense of in 17th position, bro. I mean, even I would
Yeah,
have said
yeah.
even 12th would have been intolerable to Levy. And the fact that Postecoglou literally sacrificed the league for the Europa Trophy, which again he won. To be fair, he's put himself in the history of Spurs, but Levy's so focused on the league
For the
that
wrong reasons.
he's not gonna let that fly. He's not gonna let finishing 17th in the league
But
fly on
let's
the
just
second
let's just have
season.
a look at this. Yeah, we see 22 losses in the league. Yeah, at which number of losses do you think they decided just go for Europa League? Like after how many losses in the league do you see it as
Well, see, I
we're
can't
done?
remember. I can't exactly remember where they were at like December, January, but I would imagine it was probably around that period, maybe February, where they realised that their hearts, just their heads and their hearts, weren't in it, and somehow. I mean, again, it has to be down to the manager's messaging. It has to be, because and sometimes the team selection was questionable, and now we know why.
Yeah, yeah, I'll give that. He had a lot of injuries. I think that was a it was a really disruptive, real disruptive to the team that you had so many injuries, especially in key areas, the defense and the fullbacks. A lot of shuffling, a lot of changing. I can't remember, I'm not someone who watches a lot of fans and a lot of Spurs games, but to imagine the amount of injuries you have, you can't be, you must be changing the starting 11 every other week, if not every week,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
because
it
obviously you want you're
was
handing in 2 games a week,
at one point it was
sometimes
almost
three.
all of their defence. You remember, like
Yeah,
just
yeah, every single one. You're like,
yeah,
I can't remember how many times.
goalkeeper as well. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, they went through
Yeah,
it.
goalkeeper. Yeah, Van de Ven. Like I swear, Van de Ven was almost like RoboCop. He kept on dying and coming back. Just when you thought it was over for him in the season, it's like, nope, he's back. And then it's like, is RoboCop
Just a
alive?
booster
Yes,
shot.
I'm
Yeah.
back. So he came back for the most decisive game of the season and helping them win the Europa League. But winning Europa League just was not enough.
Yeah.
To be all fairness, we all.
But I think, do you not think there's a part of it where there is a little bit of delusional kind of expectations on Levy's part and on the fans' part? I mean, it's hard to say the fan because who knows how the majority of them feel or not in regards to Ange sacking. If we look at what your brother said, he would have supported it.
I think he would support if he knew there was a better manager out there
Well,
that
then that
they
needs
knew
something,
was
doesn't it now?
going to. Because
So
are we going to say that Thomas Frank is better than Ange and he's the number one target right now, as
yeah,
it seems?
it's hard. I don't know how you make the comparison because well you can because Thomas Frank has obviously brought up a team and managed to stay fairly consistent with what he's doing in Brentford. Um,
Mm.
but he hasn't
On
won,
a
he
smaller
hasn't
budget.
he hasn't won a trophy, and that's kind of what I was getting at before. Like if you look
But
at
Brentford aren't expected to win trophies. That's the thing.
no,
They're,
that's
they're
true.
expected to compete and see how far as they can get, but they're not expected to win anything. And I think now has Thomas Frank shown that in the last 2 to 3 seasons of keeping Brentford in the league and keeping them very well, it's time to give him bigger team, more responsibilities in terms of bringing in success. Now they've got Champions League football. Spurs, what will be Spurs' next mission in a sense? Is it to be coming into European competition places because it can't be a title challenge. That's far fetched.
No, they're far away
Yeah,
from.
their title challenge lies amongst the ashes with Manchester United. So let's look at it as a positive way. You end up being 17th with a squad that we feel should be worthy be more up, at least in the top 10, if not
Yeah,
12
yeah.
in the league. So stability, maybe get rid of those who are underperforming, those who aren't playing regularly, and maybe those who it could be the time, could be up at Spurs.
Well,
I feel
I think there's a
say goodbye
few.
to Son,
Son.
say goodbye to Werner,
Mm,
say goodbye to Tell. Do not sign him permanently because
yeah,
I feel that there was not
yeah.
enough. So give Odegaard that left hand side or bring in somebody who's available on that left. I'm not expected to go for someone like Rodrigo. That's well out their reach. But then is it too much for them to be going for Liao,
I think they'll be
Rafael
looking.
Liao?
Maybe, yeah, maybe,
But we'll
maybe.
talk about in the transfer rumors in a bit more. So Frank, do you think there's going to be anyone from Brentford that he would like to take to the
Well,
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
the obvious one is Bryan and Beny. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and we've seen stuff in the newspapers this morning saying that there is rumours that Spurs are trying to hijack Man United's interest. And I mean, I think, you know, Levy will be astute enough to have made the move. If he's interested enough in both, then he'll make the move for Frank to sign up and seal the deal with Mbumo to come with him. It's interesting though, because I think I remember an interview where Thomas Frank said that he would have, if there was one team that he'd like to manage, it would be Man United. I think I remember seeing that on the Gary Lineker and Mika Richards podcast. But, you know, at the same time, it'd probably be hard for him to turn down the opportunity to manage Spurs, knowing what they've just done, knowing that there is a lot of room for manoeuvre in the sense of their growth and their future success in the coming seasons. With the squad that they've got as well, they certainly should be doing, like we just said, they certainly should be doing the 17th. I mean, 17th is unforgivable, hence the sacking. But yeah, I think Frank is an obvious choice, man. I mean, I can't think of another manager that they.
Yeah, my initial thoughts would have been Areola. I thought that he's shown a lot, his style, the
Iraola.
way he's guided. Areola, yes. What do I call him? Is it Areola? Areola.
Areola, yeah.
So Areola.
He's the dog.
I felt like he would be, you know, if I was Levy, I'd be looking at him.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what he's done with Bournemouth.
yeah.
I'll be like, you can do this with Tottenham, and you know, with your style and capabilities still, and you know, Champions League football, money in the kitty. So yeah, why not go for it? Oh, but I'm not surprised they'll go for Frank.
No, it's not
I think
surprising at all.
it's and to be fair, I'm not saying it in it. I'm not saying it's a cheap option. Let's not say that. But in comparison of getting a big boy out of their contract to come in the Spurs would have cost them a lot.
Well, but it's not. I mean, it's cheap no longer in the sense that it cost them a lot of money to get rid of Ange already.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah,
It was
but like you have to
considerable
see it as they managed to. But I don't think he wasn't. I don't think he was
Isn't it
even
the greatest job in the world, management? Like football managers
football
can
manager.
literally get sacked,
If it goes well for you,
and then
bro.
they can get more money.
If it goes well for you, what's
Next job.
the lifespan now of the average manager? Is it like 4 years? Like I swear it must be. I wouldn't be surprised if it was less. Like you had a look, Klopp did 9 years. You got Pep on his 10th year or 9th year now, or something like that. And then it's like he's probably one of the longest serving managers now in the league. And it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how foot management is now. Like I
Yeah.
don't think there's anybody. I think right now who's been in the job the longest right now, probably like Diego Simeone.
I was going to say, or Ancelotti doing the numbers of years that he's done at a number of clubs.
No. Talking about one club.
Oh, one club. Well, then yes.
Simeone's done for like he's done there for like 10, 12 years, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Could we see Simeone do Atletico Madrid for like? Could he be the Alex Ferguson of with less success? Like, could he do 20 years? I reckon he'll stay for 20 years.
He probably could. He loves it there, and they love him.
I think he runs that part of the city.
Mm.
He's respected. I don't think he could build respect like that at any other club. Athletic till he dies, you know.
Yeah, and he's got a hold. I mean, if you think of like the likes of Alvarez, he's got a hold on players. They want to play for him. He's a very passionate man.
Yeah, I've seen Nunes. I thought Nunes would be the perfect player for Atletico if he ever does leave Liverpool.
Darwin.
You know. Like, I think he's a proper athletic striker, and I think Diego Simeone would love to have had. But again, they've got Alvarez, and they've also got Serloff, so you know, who scored against Italy this weekend.
Yeah, good player.
Remember tonight we've got the big game of Spain versus Portugal.
That's right.
For the Nation League's final.
Did you watch the previous two?
What France? Spain versus Portugal? What, that 3-3 draw? Yeah, do you think it's a guy like that?
I mean,
there's potential. I see Spain. This is a big game.
I see Spain winning.
I see Spain winning.
Yeah,
I see.
It's going to be another Yamal show, to be honest.
I think Spain's going to work him.
Yeah,
but it's Lamar against. Is Nudge. Is he playing? Left back.
Oh, no, who? Nuno Mensch.
Yeah, Nuno Mensch. Yeah. Yes, Nuno Mensch against Lamine
Yamal. Yeah.
That's going to be a conquest. That's going to be a.
Wasn't around the pit. I mean, like if Vitinha plays, and yeah, man, it's going to be interesting.
Vitinha versus Pedri, Lamar versus Bruno Mensch.
They're kind of protecting him. He literally played like 5 minutes off the bench. Yes, that's his
Mm.
first
He
appearance.
has to play in this game. He has to play in this
He'll
game.
probably play some, but I don't
I
expect.
wonder if Portugal will release Conceição because he came and scored. He did some damage against Germany.
Yeah,
I think he might get a start. He's been
yeah.
explosive for Juventus. I'm surprised his name hasn't been mentioned in the transfers, but I think everybody knows that Juventus are not letting that kid go. He's the future for Juventus. But yeah, but there's one thing I wanted to put to you, and this is the whole argument I'm seeing where Arsenal fans are split between whether they're going to sign Benjamin Sesko or Gyökeres.
Well, I mean, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would definitely, I'd definitely favour Gyökeres.
See, I'm against that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and the reason being is because I feel like Sesko is an Arsenal kind of he'll fit into that system. I think he is the perfect guy, perfect build, 6'5", can move, can finish both feet, can header. Arsenal put a lot of balls into the box. They play a lot of set pieces, and for someone who's 6'5", he's just gonna add
I
to
know
that.
what you're
He's just gonna
saying. No,
he's
I
he's
get
just
what
a,
you're
he's
saying.
gonna be a better
I
um
just think
a better
there's,
version of trying to play Havertz in that system. Where Havertz is not a natural nine. He's got technical abilities that make him a nine, as in, touch control. He can finish, he can header, but he's not a nine. He's a 10 false nine. If that, even though I don't give him a false nine, give him a 10-8.
yeah, I was going to say 10 or an
So
8.
they need actual nine. Someone to play the strengths of Arsenal, especially where Saka can be twisting, turning, whipping the ball into someone who feels is capable, someone who's supposed to be deadly, and
I think
also the age.
what you've got to always remember, and I've said this most of my adult life, is that when a player comes from another league and they've not played in the Premier League, you have to give them, and I know it sounds a bit ridiculous here, but you have to give them a year, at least a year. Getting familiar with the league, getting the team, the pace and the style of play, it's very different than what he would have experienced. And I think the reason I said I
You,
prefer
you
Jokeris.
just, bruv, you just have to get when you're challenging the title, you don't get that time.
No, I
I'm
know what
telling you, you
I know what
don't.
you're saying, but we've seen it with players like, if you look at when we signed Moises, it took him 6 months to a year to settle at Chelsea, and now we
Who?
started Moises Caicedo.
No, but he's been playing at Brighton for the last 2 seasons, so
No,
he
I
was
understand,
ready.
and that's the difference. That's the big difference in that he had to taste the league, and it took him less time. But I think with Sesko, you're going to have to give him a lot more time. Gyökeres, the reason I said I'd favour Gyökeres is because he's had the experience of playing in this country before.
Yeah, but that was league, but that was championship.
Yeah, I
I'm,
know,
I'm
but
not
it's still,
discounting that, but
well,
he hasn't got that Premier League pedigree because we see that the championship teams, they're coming in and going straight down again,
no,
and then
I
there's
understand
barely,
that.
and there's one or two from a team. You're looking at a team of, it's called 11 players, yeah. So from 33 players from the teams get relegated, there's only really going to be two, maybe three people who survive. That's a culling, bruv.
Yeah,
That's a culling.
yeah.
That's a slaughter. Everybody else is going, but there's only going to be about three players who shone and will find a team in the Premier League. Delap's one of them. He's done his part. He's gone to Chelsea. Next one is potentially going to be Ramsdale to leave Southampton, come back to the Premier League, and then
Where's he going?
there's gonna be what
Where's Ramsdale going?
Ramsdale. I think maybe United or West Ham. West Ham are looking at him, so he's definitely come back into the Premier League, and then that leaves just one more spot, and it's gonna be somebody coming out of those teams that got relegated, and I'm looking at potentially maybe Diblin
Diblin,
at
I thought of as
Southampton.
well. Yeah.
If Newcastle don't get Wemo, maybe they move for Diblin. But Southampton asking too much money. The first would be them hearing 100 million, but no. Yeah, it's stupid, man. They really want to keep this guy, but you're gonna stunt him now because he just knows relegation. So I feel like someone should come in for him. So potentially we could see that happening. But that's the reason why I feel like Gyökeres, he's like a better version of Højlund.
So do you think he's more suited to Man United? Is that what you're
He's
saying?
more suited to Man United. He's worked with a manager before. He knows what he's getting with Gyökeres. He knows what he's getting. That's why he's gonna go for him. He's not going for anybody else. Like, so I feel that it's a better fit. It's almost like that Scandinavian type. Højlund, Haaland, Gyökeres. Then I see what Pedro Sesko, Vlahovic. These Eastern Europeans, they're different. It's just I don't know. It's just for me, it's like that type. It's almost like a type fits that kind of part of the country. Those Eastern European strikers. Mandzukic.
Did Newcastle
You know,
get Champions League football, bro?
they
Remind
got
me.
Champions League
They
football,
did.
so they'll be keeping
They
Isak,
keep.
who
Yeah, I was just about to say because obviously the dream transfer for an Arsenal fan perspective, and I suppose manager as well, would be Alexander Isak.
Bruv, there's nothing Swedish about this guy, apart from the accent. I don't know. Like this guy is different breed. The guy plays like a Frenchman.
Yeah, he does.
He's a
He's
Somalian who
probably the
plays like a
closest,
Frenchman who's born in Sweden.
he's
It's the
probably the
craziest thing.
closest resembling player to the way Henri played, I think, currently.
Yeah, yeah, he's the closest thing. So I feel Newcastle are so happy that they caught Champions League football because they've got owners who have got money, but they can't spend it because of the Premier League. Do you think it will be fair? Let's just break away for a second. Do you feel it'll be fair if they just let clubs spend whatever they want to spend, regardless if they lose money?
What, any club?
Yeah.
I don't see why it's the Premier League's business to say. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the days when Abramovich came in and everybody else was like, "This isn't fair. This isn't fair." Our owner has a lot of money. What's the problem with that? He bought
He's
the place.
spreading the money around. Spreading the money. Because it would. There's always a trickle down effect. You buy a
Exactly.
player, they sell a player, they didn't have to buy another player.
West Ham
It's a,
did well
it's a
out of us when we finished.
domino
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like teams would have to, if you haven't got if you haven't got the brand name to get in a Brazilian or Mexican or whoever you want, then you go to the division lower and pick the best players from the lower league and bring
And
them
if
in.
you look at owners now, I mean, owners usually have got more than one club that they're
Yeah,
investing in,
yeah.
and more than one sport. Even you look at FSG, you know, look at what they've got, flipping 3 different sports they're invested in or something.
Yeah, it's really too much. It's really too much. But yeah, just looking at those strikers, I kind of think like, you know what? I feel that Sesko is a much better fit for Arsenal than
I haven't seen enough
Gyökeres.
of him finishing well, if in my opinion. I
Watch,
think,
you have to go watch some Bundesliga videos. You do it in your
yeah,
spare
sure,
time,
sure.
whether it's go cook a meal and sit down and watch a whole load of Sesko. So I see that you guys managed to wrap up the lap. I saw him in his Chelsea shirt. Give this message to Chelsea fans.
Yeah,
Good
but we're looking
business.
wrong.
30 million. You took number 9.
Took number 9. Palmer's wearing number 10.
Who had that before him?
It's a good question. I don't know if it was used actually last year.
It's been a while since he's had a number 9.
Yeah, I don't know if it was used last year.
Who has donned the number 9 since then? Because you can't tell me that your last number 9 was Fernando Torres. That's like,
It's a very good question. Do you know what? Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
oh, all right. While
He's
you
doing
find out that information, you come and tell me that Fernando Torres was your last number 9. That's like how many years ago now? Who else wore that number 9 shirt? That is crazy. Anybody, let us know in the comments who basically wore Chelsea number 9 from like 2011, 2012 till now. Who has worn the number 9 at Chelsea? Because this guy doesn't know.
No,
I think
I don't.
Higuain. Do you know Higuain at one point? Gigi? Was he wearing a number 9? Maybe Higuain. I don't know. But it's been a while.
Yeah, we're
Costa wear
going
9
to come back to that one.
or 19? I don't know. Anyway, so you managed to get
Morata,
the
maybe?
lap, Morata, or did he wear 7? Or did he wear 9?
Did he
No, he
wear
wore
9?
7 at
Did he wear 9?
Juventus. Man, Google the thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you've got the lap. What's next for Chelsea?
Well, we've already obviously got the 3 Brazilians coming. Well, the 2 Brazilians and Andre
Yeah,
Santos.
that's signed. I'm talking about who's on
I
who's on the
think
rumors. Like who's on
more
the
to come. Obviously, now the rumours are around Magnan, but apparently this morning we've said that
okay,
we're not prepared to spend more than 15 million euros.
okay. So he's 29.
Well, because he's nearly 30, right. He's nearly 30, and he's on a year left on his contract. So in December, January, we can talk to him for nothing. So I
But then
reckon.
you still have to sign a number 1 in the meantime. So you have to
Well,
ditch that
but
idea.
we've got 4 goalkeepers that we might be happy with now. I mean, to be honest, and then I think a lot of Chelsea fans will feel the same way. We think Georgi Petrovic should be starting.
You missed out on Kelleher, you know.
I don't think we did.
You could have had Kelleher for about 30
I
30
don't think
mil.
we've got to miss out on Keller. No
You
offence.
did. Now it's gone Brentford. It's gone to your rivals. Your
It's
West
not
London
right.
rivals.
Brentford are not our
Eat that.
rivals, bro.
Eat that. They are. They're your rivals.
With
You
Brentford.
look, this ownership of that side of West London, yeah, you need to go and own it. You don't. They own you over there anyway.
Yeah.
So you got the new keeper coming in. You're saying goodbye to Jadon Sancho,
Yeah.
to Sean Etidor. You're gonna go pay that 5 million. God damn.
No, I mean, his wage demands were stupid. Bro. I mean, like he just hasn't been the player that he was at Dortmund, and that's sad. It is sad because we saw glimpses of it when he first arrived at the bridge, and even when he first sort of played like, well, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes for Man United, and then it all went quiet. But
Well, scored in Europa League final, so you know he's capable.
yeah, he's capable and he's got it in him. But I just think we've got to be a bit ruthless, and the manager
So,
definitely is.
so what about this straight swap? Maybe you look by Gittins and then they get back Sancho. They need a spot.
Perhaps we've just apparently had a bid rejected, so we are interested in him, and I think terms have been agreed between him and Chelsea.
All right, we definitely need to go and
We have to
find
keep
out
an eye on that one.
how much that looks like. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm hearing that João Pedro could be on his way out
I saw
of Brighton. I don't know
rumours.
how much. I don't know how much Brighton are looking to set to, to sell him. But I remember when Liverpool were looking at him
Well,
during
apparently
during the transfer
Newcastle
window.
and yeah,
It's like 60 million or something. Listen, Newcastle have let go of um Callum Wilson, so
have
he
they?
didn't get new contract. Yeah, he's a free agent now. Okay,
I thought
so
they kept him. Okay, wow.
so maybe this could be a time for them to go and get João Felix.
Pedro.
Not João Felix, sorry, João Pedro. Too many Joãos, man. João Neves, João Felix, João Pedro, João. I think yeah. So they'll go in for João Pedro. 60 million, I believe, could be what it takes.
I think it's a good
So
fit for Newcastle. I
it's
think he'd
almost
be good.
having João Pedro and Isak, that
But
kind
his
of. What you
his
look doing? You look trying to get a Spiller back in or something. Is
his
this
disciplinary record is a little bit. I wouldn't be happy with that. But I suppose it's going to take. I don't know. It's hard to know how he's going to react to the likes of Eddie Howe.
Stan
Yeah,
guy? He'll be
well,
fine. He's a Stan guy. He'll be staying with him.
no, he will. He
Yeah,
definitely
he
will.
has to. He has to
Yeah.
be. He has to be. So we'll see what happens there and see where he will play. So we had Sky Sports report that Manchester City have agreed a deal to sign Mr. Gianni Reinders from AC Milan. Looks like he's going in for a reported 55 million euros, which looks about 46.3 million pounds.
Mm.
What do you reckon? Good signing? Shrewd
Yeah, very
business?
good signing. I think he's a really good player. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's got all of the attributes that Pep wants and Pep needs to kind of not fill the boots of De Bruyne, but offer
that's what I
something
was gonna
similar.
say. Is he brought in to fill the boots of Kevin De Bruyne because he's not known for his creativity to be on that kind of par. I
No,
feel like he's more of an upgrade on someone like Kovacevic, and obviously you still got Gundogan there, so I think
Kovac.
less less pressure will be put on Gundogan to come in and try and influence the game where you have Reinders and Rodri. Maybe someone gets brought in as to player number 10,
Well,
maybe Foden, maybe
Cherky,
Cherky,
Cherky is the one that
you
apparently they're
know,
looking at hard. I mean, the goal he scored off the bench for
for
France
France, beautiful.
wasn't a
Is
beaut.
there any better two-footed player around in
Oh,
Europe than
I
this
mean, it
guy?
reminded me of Eden Hazard. He was that good. Yeah, I think
I thought Cherky's got better left foot than Hazard.
I haven't seen enough of him, but that definitely put him on the stage.
The guy is just both-footed. It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy. It's beautiful.
What are they looking at to spend to sign him? Do you reckon?
Well, I think apparently Man City had a 40 million bid rejected, but he was being offered for around between 30 and 25 at the end of the season, even in German transfer window. Pardon me. No one's gone on for him, and now we're hearing that they rejected 40. Maybe because they know that I think he's got like a year left in his contract. They're not desperate
And
for
get
the
him to
money,
extend.
but they feel that if they can get, because it's with pure profit because he came from the youth academy,
Mm.
going in, asking for between 45 to 50, I think they'll shake hands. And I think Man City will say, all right, go on in, let's just do
I
it.
think he'd really suit City. I think he's a really, really lovely looking player. Same with Reinders. I think Reinders definitely, like you were saying, I think he just offers much more solidity in midfield. I mean, you imagine him and Rodri in midfield together. That's horrible.
That'd be
That's
beautiful. That'd
horrible.
be beautiful. All right. So you have the Telegraph. They're reporting what we just spoke about, where the whole Newcastle are set to look at João Pedro because they've missed out on Mbeumo. So let's focus quickly there on Mbeumo. Looking at Man United, how likely do you think that's going to happen? Brentford have already rejected the first bid, and they're looking at close to the 60 million mark, where the original bid was around 40. Is this a good move for him?
It's a really, really difficult one. I'd be afraid of Man United if I were a player. I think what will win him over will be Ruben Amorim, or it'll turn him the other way. And the reason I say that is because I think if Thomas Frank shows signs that he's committing to Spurs, Mbeumo might choose Frank over like it's the better the devil you know than the devil you don't kind of thing. Um, I think he'd probably favour the Spurs move. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the kind of the accolade of what Man United were once, but they don't represent that anymore. And if you look at their league,
They resemble bank balance because he's apparently asking for 250,000 a week, where he is coming on 50,000 a week at Brentford. If Man United are willing to do that, we're
and
hearing that
Spurs
they're trying to.
surely won't be able to afford anything near.
Well, I think they feel a deal can be made at around 200,000, so compromise, and I think he'll take it. Maybe add on, an extra 5% every year. Maybe add on a goal bonus, or maybe the increase is his signing on bonus,
The only
because
thing that I
that would
suppose the
be.
only thing that would probably deter him is if you look at that squad, Brennan Johnson is actually quite significant competition for him.
But my guy scored 18 league goals here, so push him to him. He's out
No,
the way.
I know what you're saying, but I think what Spurs have done with Johnson, what Johnson's done for Spurs, it's
Yeah, he's
going to
done
be
like six. He's
difficult.
done like 10 tap-ins, man.
Whereas, yeah, but
Let's
if you
let's
compare,
relax on that one. Yeah,
no, but
they
just
still end up
compare, I'm not
17th.
comparing the two players.
So
I'm saying in the squads, there looks like there's probably more room for Mbeumo in Man United than there is in Spurs.
no, Mbeumo will replace Kulievski. He'll replace Brennan Johnson. Let's just be real. He's better than both of them. Better than both of them. Thomas Frank knows this. He knows this. And again, Kulievski's injured. We won't see him till next season.
Okay.
Mbeumo's got time
Yeah.
now to take his space.
Yeah.
Moving on quickly with that one, we've got a few that we have to run through because we are kind of Alex Talks is not supposed to be supposed to be this long, but let's go quickly wrap through them. Okay, so yeah, in the Mirror, they're focusing on Bournemouth left back Kerkez. He's been released from Manchester City. We already kind of know this already. We thought that I think Liverpool will wrap up this deal once they have wrapped up the Florian Wirtz deal. Another one done. My boys are putting in the work early, and it'll be good to get pre-season and then come flying for a defense of our title, which is great. The Florian Platterberg, which is a guy, Florian sounds that's a weird name, Florian, because Florian is like Romanian, but then Plattenberg, it's like it's German, so maybe he could be German Romanian. Anyway, he's reporting about Rafa Leao. It's told AC Milan he wants to leave the club, so they're slapping a 70 million euro fee on him. That's 59 million. That is pretty good for a left winger of his caliber. Will he come to the Premier League, or will he end up in the Bundesliga? Because Bayern apparently are looking into that. I thought if they get him, then see you later, Leroy Sané. Don't worry about the contract. You're out. Then we have an Italian publication, Calciomercato, reporting on Chelsea looking at a second bid of Mike Maignan, which we spoke about earlier. Sky Italy reports Juventus reached agreement with PSG to um, extend the loan of Randall Colomwani from PSG. So it looks like Juventus are looking to keep him on so he can compete in the FIFA Club World Cup. And then we have Al Hilal is looking at Napoli's Nigerian forward Victor Osimhen by Sky Italy. I think they have already kind of like, yeah, I think I heard something about they agreed to his terms. I think he was looking for about 300 from any teams from Europe. They said no. And I think I think he has managed to even triple that by going to play in the Saudi League. This guy's going to go enjoy money. He's going to enjoy money. So Fabrizio Romano has reported that Bayern Munich have reached a deal with Bayer Leverkusen to sign Jonathan Tah. I think that's been an ongoing, and now we've come to his end of his contract. He can now join them. Yeah, I think Brian loves doing that, napping up their rivals' players. And then the Evening Standard looks at Chelsea set to sign. Arsenal set to sign Chelsea's goalkeeper Kepa. How do you feel about that? And for only 5 million, and he was like the world record goalkeeper at one point. I think he
At
still
one
holds that
point,
record.
yeah, mad. It's a strange one.
He's had a good season at
At
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth, yeah,
So
he did. I think we're probably looking at it as though he's nowhere up near in the manager's eyes. In the current manager's eyes, he's nowhere near the pecking order. He's surplus to requirements. I think it's as simple as that.
okay, yeah, I think so. So gotta wrap this up, but before I leave, just wanted to just ask for you quickly before we go. You got to name me like one player Chelsea should sign. This is down to you, not rumors or anything. Who you number one? If you had the money, who's the one guy you would sign, and who's the one girl? Who's the one girl? Who's the one guy you would sell right now?
That's a really difficult question, man.
You thought about it. You know the answer. Just give it to me.
I,
Pause.
I mean, anybody?
Are you rubbish? Anyway, all right.
Yamal. I'd choose Yamal. We'd
Lamar.
sign
Okay,
Yamal.
Lamar. All right, cool. And who'd you sell?
I'd sell
The one person you hate, you dislike the most.
in Chelsea. There ain't that many.
Nicholas Jackson. You said it. Thank you very much.
No,
I can read
no,
your
I
mind.
wouldn't
I
sell
can
him. I
read
wouldn't.
your mind. You would sell Nicholas Jackson.
I
Yes, you
wouldn't.
would.
I wouldn't. I'd give him time. He's
Axel
young.
Diassi,
He's
one of
young.
those two. Anyway,
No, I'd
doesn't
probably
matter.
sell. I'd probably sell Disassi.
Diassi. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's it. That's it. That's Alex Talks, another segment done. I will run another one next week, so we'll see where these transfer rumors we've been talking about have any, been managed to get over the line. Who hasn't made it? Who has? What's next? What's happening? And thank you, Cam, for joining me today.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully, if I need you again, I will call up on your presence. I just thought there was too much news for me to handle. No. So thank you
There's a
very
lot to
much.
cover. No, it's good.
Guys, please make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. We have the Never Caught Offside podcast running tomorrow. So we want to get that recorded and get that straight out to you as soon as possible. Normally we drop an episode on a Wednesday. Okay. But that's what we're doing. That's what's happening next. And yeah, again, please share this, like this, comment,
Hit that
follow us,
one.
subscribe, all of that. Hit the button, hit the button. Take care. See you later. Bye.